Alright, so in this video I'm going to be going over every single Jackery portable power station and which ones I really like, which ones I don't like so much. So let's just dive right in, and we'll start from smallest to biggest, and that means we're going to start with the Jackery 160. So the 160 is a 176 watt hour capacity with 100 watt continuous and 150 watt surge. So the things I really like about this one, I've used all these for months now, it's got a USB-C port, which is great. So if you're going to a coffee shop and you need to charge your MacBook Air, you get a 60 watt USB-C in a nice, really portable, large capacity versus like a small battery bank from Anker or something. So I really like bringing this to the coffee shop. I throw this in my suitcase or in my carry-on. Well, yeah, it's a little too large to do in a carry-on, but if you're going on a road trip or something, it's really easy to throw in a backpack. It's got one AC port and a little light, which is great. So that's the Jackery 160. And kind of as a size comparison, if you're looking at some other brands, this is a Yeti 200X. This is a lot more expensive, and this is 187 watt hour capacity, so only a little bit more capacity. It has a little higher surge rating, up to 200 watts, but pretty, good size comparison. But this one's quite a bit more expensive. So if you see a small battery pack, I really like the 160 as a very entry-level option. Okay, moving on up. Next is the Jackery 240. This is next one up. It's got a 240 watt hour capacity and a 200 watt continuous, 400 watt surge. This is a really good CPAP battery. So if you're out camping or you want something kind of silent to back up your CPAP battery, it just has a higher capacity to kind of get you through the night for sure. Even the 160 would on most if you take off the dehumidifier, but a little more capacity. This is an older model, so excuse me. You know what's funny? I grabbed the wrong one, and you know what's awesome? This is the 300. I grabbed this because I thought it was a little bit smaller, but that's why I love the 300. This is the 240. So 240, no USB-C. It is a good CPAP generator. It's cheaper than the 300, about $100 cheaper right now. So if budget is an issue, 240 is fine. It's not my favorite one. What is my favorite one is the one that I thought was the 240 just because I had them lined up here, and that's the new 300. So this thing is great because it's still a really nice, pretty compact size, but with the 300, you get 293 watt hours and a 300 watt continuous and a 500 watt surge. This thing just has a lot of power in a really compact space. I love the new 300. This is my go-to if I'm going to a coffee shop. It's still really light and portable, but like with a lot of capacity and that USB-C port and two AC outs, which is just really nice to have. So that's the 300. Moving our way up, this is the Jackery Explorer 500. I don't like this one. This is my least favorite of the lineup. It's an older model. Sure, it's got the flashlight. It only has one AC port out, no USB-C, and it's big. It's not too big, so like if you need the capacity, it's got 518 watt hours of capacity. But I'd much rather grab the 300 than the 500 pretty much any day. And if you're gonna get the 500 and you have the budget, you might as well just go into what we'll talk about next, and that's the Jackery 1000. And this one, while a bit more cumbersome, it has the nice handle. It's easy pickup that I love about all the Jackeries. It's super solid. This thing I took on a 2-week camping trip to power a portable freezer. Just no issues whatsoever. You got USB-C, you got MPPT for solar charging. That's on the 500 and the 300 as well. You can pick these up for almost $900 now. Usually they're around $1,000, but sometimes you can pick them up on Amazon for around $8.99. If I had to pick one solar battery to take on a trip or something in my car, this would be it. Works great with solar chargers. Its closest comparison is probably something like the EF Delta. This is the EF Delta 1300. Oh my gosh, but this thing is such a beast. And it's just, I hate the ergonomics of this compared to, oh my gosh, to the Jackery 1000. So this is one of the newer Jackeries as well. I think it's the second newest after the 300. And This is probably my number 2 favorite. So if I had to rank them, they're kind of like all my children, but if I had to do a ranking, I would say 300 is my favorite, just because like perfect combination of size and power. Then the 1000, just kind of does it all. Then the 160. I like the little baby 160. So 160, and then probably 240, still good capacity size, and the 500. I just can't figure out what to do with the 500. It's such an in-between weird spot now. So that's how I'd rank all the different Jackery solar generators, just based on the last 3 months of using them, taking them on a bunch of trips, a couple trips now, traveling with them. They're really sturdy, great product. I guess another comparison for kind of in the mid-range here might be like this new Anker one. Take this versus the 300, and the Anker one is bigger. And let's see, what's the capacity on this? Oh, 4,500, 450. That's cool. Okay, it says it's 388 watt hours, you know, versus only the 293. So a bit more capacity, but, and this is, I like this Anker one as kind of a mid-range one too. It's a solid pick, but number 1 pick overall, Jackery 300, the Jackery 1000. They're all good. They all have their advantages. I could go into more detail about kind of the 1000 at the higher end range versus like the EcoFlow Delta and some of the advantages of the technology that they have. But just for comparison of all the Jackery products, I hope this was helpful.